Next, we are discussing about the next idea, Pythagorean triplet. Okay, Pythagorean triplet. What do you mean by Pythagorean triplet? We know the triplet means the three numbers. Okay, then is a Pythagorean triplet means the number follow the idea of Pythagorean theorem. That number is called Pythagorean triplet. Then we know that what in by Pythagoras theorem. Correct? We already learned the Pythagoras theorem. We are discussing the Pythagoras theorem on the base of right triangles. Correct? So, what is Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem, we learn it like this. Base square plus height square is equal to hypotenuse square. Correct? Base square plus height square is equal to hypotenuse square. Here we are not discuss anything based on the idea as a right triangle. We just saying the idea based on the numbers. Correct? Then the Pythagorean triplet means that numbers follows the Pythagorean theorem's idea. Then what is that? There we adding the square of two sides. Correct? Base square plus height square. That square sum is equal to square of the third side. That means the hypotenuse square. In this case, we do like this. The triplet means we have the three numbers. Then after we find the squares of that three numbers, then we just adding the square of smallest numbers. If you get the answer is equal to the square of the larger number, then we conclude they are Pythagorean triplet. ഓക്കെ, എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ പൈത്തഗോറസ് തിയറം പ്രകാരം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തിയറം പോലെ തന്നെയാണ് പൈത്തഗോറിയൻ ട്രിപ്ലെറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിൾ ഇല്ല, ബേസ് ഇല്ല, ഹൈറ്റ് ഇല്ല, ഹൈപ്പോട്ടനസ് ഇല്ല. വി ഹാവ് ഓൺലി ഫോർ എ നമ്പേഴ്സ്. ബട്ട് വി follow we considering the same idea. Okay, with numbers satisfy the idea of Pythagoras theorem. That numbers are called the Pythagorean triplet. അവിടെ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത് ബേസ് സ്ക്വയർ പ്ലസ് ഹൈറ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു ഹൈപ്പോട്ടനസ് സ്ക്വയർ. അത് നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയുന്നു, we have the three measurements, that means three numbers. Then after we finding the square of three numbers, okay, നമ്മൾ മൂന്ന് നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. എന്നിട്ട് രണ്ട് നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ചെറിയ രണ്ട് നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ, അതിലുള്ള ചെറിയ രണ്ട് നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ ആഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അതിലെ വലിയ നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയറിന് ഈക്വൽ ആയിട്ടാണ് കിട്ടുന്നതെങ്കിൽ ആ നമ്പേഴ്സിന് നമ്മൾ എന്താ വിളിക്കുക? പൈത്തഗോറിയൻ ട്രിപ്ലെറ്റ്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ദ നമ്പേഴ്സ് 3, 4, 5. The numbers 3, 4, 5 are Pythagorean triplets. Why? Because if you find 3 square, we know what is 3 square is equal to 9. What is 4 square? 4 square is equal to 16. Then 5 square is equal to 25. Correct? Then what are the smallest numbers in this case? The smallest numbers are 3 and 4. So we just adding the square of 3 and the square of 4. Okay? Therefore 3 square plus 4 square is equal to, what is 3 square? 3 square is 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. What is 25? 25 is the square of 5. Correct? So what we got it? We got it the answer like this. The sum of square of two numbers is equal to square of third one. Correct? രണ്ട് നമ്പേഴ്സിന്റെ സ്ക്വയറിന്റെ സം ഏതിന് ഈക്വൽ ആണ്? മൂന്നാമത്തെ നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയറിന് ഈക്വൽ ആണ്. സോ വി കൺക്ലൂഡ് 4, 5 are Pythagorean triplets. Okay? If any number satisfies these ideas, that numbers are called Pythagorean triplet. നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുള്ള മൂന്ന് നമ്പർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എടുക്കുന്ന മൂന്ന് നമ്പറിന്റെ ചെറിയ രണ്ട് നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ ആഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വലിയ നമ്പറിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ നമ്പറിനാണ് മക്കളെ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് വിളിക്കുന്നത്? Pythagorean triplet. I think you got the idea about the Pythagorean triplet. Then, what is the general form of to find the Pythagorean triplet? The Pythagorean triplets always are in the form, the general form is 2m, okay, 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1, where m is a natural number and n is m is greater than 1. Okay, what is the general form of a Pythagorean triplet? The Pythagorean triplet's form is 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1, and what is m? M is any natural number greater than 1. M is any natural number greater than 1. Okay, m എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒന്നിനേക്കാൾ വലിയ ഏത് നാച്ചുറൽ നമ്പർ ആയാലും പൈത്തഗോറിയൻ ട്രിപ്ലെറ്റ്സിന്റെ ഫോം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്തായിരിക്കും? 2m. Okay, 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. Then what are the least numbers? The least numbers are 2m and m square minus 1. Then we just verifying is not necessary. We just verifying if we get this Pythagorean triplet. Then we find the square of three numbers. What is 2m square? Square is equal to 2 square is 4. M square is m square. Okay. Then the square of m square minus 1, m square minus 1 whole square. This one in the form of a minus b whole square. A minus b whole square. Correct. What is a minus b whole square? First is a square. A square means m square whole square minus 2am. 2am means 2 into square into 1 plus 1 square. That is m raised to 4 minus 2m square plus 1. Okay. Then next we find the square of last one, m square plus 1. M square plus 1 whole square is equal to m square whole square plus 2 into m square into 1 plus 1 square, because this one is the form of a plus b whole square. Okay, then a plus b whole square we apply, then we get it like this. Then m raised to 4 plus 2m square plus 1. Then we just adding the least numbers. Therefore 2m square plus m square minus 1 whole square is equal to 4m square plus m raised to 4 minus 2m square plus 1. Then is equal to no any other m raised to 4, then first m raised to 4. Then 4m square minus 2m square. 4m square minus 2m square is plus 2m square. Then plus 1. Correct? Then now we got the same result, m raised to 4 plus 2m square plus 1. That means this is the result of m square plus 1 whole square. M square plus 1 whole square. That means this form is satisfy the Pythagorean triplets. This form the idea of Pythagoras theorem. Correct. So we call these three are the general form of Pythagorean triplet. Okay, it's not necessary to verify like this. I just explain why we choose these form as a Pythagorean triplet. Why? Because it satisfies the idea of Pythagoras theorem. The square of two smallest number is the sum of squares of two smallest number is equal to square of the large one. Okay, that is why we call this is a general form of a Pythagorean triplet. What is the general form of Pythagorean triplet? Then always the Pythagorean triplets in the form of 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. Okay, then we go to the first example based on the Pythagoras theorem. a Pythagorean triplet. Next we are discussing how to find the Pythagorean triplet by using the general idea. Okay. Then the question is like this. Write a Pythagorean triplet whose one member is 18. Here is given the one member of the Pythagorean triplet, that one is 18. Then we want to find the other two members, correct? Okay. Then here is given one member is 18. Then how do we find the other numbers? That is very easy. Then first we write the general form. The general form of the general form of Pythagorean triplet is 2m comma m square minus 1 then m square plus 1, correct? Then the general form of Pythagorean triplets is 2m m square minus 1 m square plus 1. So the given number, we just look here, the smallest numbers are 2m and m square minus 1. The biggest number is m square plus 1, correct? So we choose always the value of the given number as 2m or m square minus 1. Okay, 2m or m square minus 1. Just look, the given number is an even number, we choose this one as the value of 2m. Is an odd number, we choose this one is the value of m square minus 1. Okay, എപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ തന്നിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്പർ ഈവൺ ആണോ ബേസ് ഓഡ് ആണോ എന്നതിനെ അടിസ്ഥാനപ്പെടുത്തിയാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, വാല്യൂ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്കറിയാം ഇതിലെ ഏറ്റവും സ്മോളസ്റ്റ് നമ്പേഴ്സ് ഫോം ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്, 2m m സ്ക്വയർ മൈനസ് 1 ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ തന്നിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്പർ ഒന്നിക്കൽ 2m ആയിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ m സ്ക്വയർ മൈനസ് 1 ആയിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, the number is an even number, we choose that one as the value of 2m, or is an odd number, we choose that one is the value of m square minus 1. Okay, so here what is one member? The one member is 18, therefore we choose the 18 as the value of 2m instead of 2m. Okay, therefore 2m is equal to 18. 2m is equal to 18. Then 2m is equal to 18. Then it's possible to find the value of m. Therefore m is equal to, we transpose 2 the side of RHS, then is 18 by 2. Then now we got the value of m. M is equal to 9. Okay, then now the m value is 9. Then it's possible to find m square minus 1, correct? Therefore m square minus 1 is equal to, what is m square minus 1? M is 9. 9 square minus 1 is equal to, 9 square is 81. 81 minus 1 is equal to 80. Okay, what is the value of m square minus 1? Is equal to 80, correct? Then m square minus 1 is equal to 80. Then next we find the value of m square plus 1. Then m square plus 1 is equal to 9 square plus 1. Correct, 9 square plus 1. What is 9 square is 81 plus 1 is equal to 82. Now we got the value of m. M is equal to 9. Then after we find the value of m square minus 1, that one is 80. M square plus 1, that is 82. Correct. Then after what is next? Therefore the Pythagorean triplets are the Pythagorean triplets are 2m, not m, 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. Then for this thing, what is 2m? 2m is equal to 18, not 9. 2m value is 18. So the first member is 18. Okay, then 18. Second number is m square minus 1. What is m square minus 1? M square minus 1 is 80. Third number is m square plus 1. What is m square plus 1? That one is 82. So what are the Pythagorean triplets? The Pythagorean triplets are 18, 80, 82. Okay, I think you got the idea about how to find the Pythagorean triplet is given one member. Okay, now we got the idea about what is the square numbers and how to find the squares, correct? We know the squares up to 1 to 20. Then after we know the idea how to find the squares, We got the idea about the square numbers. And we know now why we call them as a square number. And we just know about what is the square roots. Correct? For example, we wrote like this is 11 square. 11 square is 121. Then 121 is called square of 11. And 11 is called square root of 121. 121. Correct? Then next we discussing if we get a square number, how to find the square root of that numbers. If we know the squares of some numbers, we don't know whose square is this. We know only this is a square number, but we don't know whose square is that. Then how to find the square root of that number? For finding the square root of that number, we have three methods. The first one is a repeated subtraction method. Second one is prime factorization method, and the last one is a division method. Okay. Then first we discussing now the first method, repeated subtraction method. Then is an easy idea. We just the example. Okay. Find the square root of 9. We know whose square is 9. Correct? Whose square is 9. We just discussing the idea about what we know it now. We want to find the square root of 9 by a repeated subtraction method. This method is based on the idea, we already learned it, every perfect square number is possible to write as a sum of successive odd numbers starting from 1. അല്ലെ, നമ്മൾ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് എല്ലാ പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സ്ക്വയർ നമ്പറിനെയും നമുക്ക് എന്താക്കി എഴുതാം, 1 മുതലുള്ള തുടർച്ചയായ ഓഡ് നമ്പേഴ്സിന്റെ സമ്മായിട്ട് എഴുതാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റും. Correct? Then is just idea. This method is based on the same idea. Okay, just only some changes, but we follow the idea of that ones. Clear? Then here we know what is the square root of 9. Yes, whose square is 9? That is 3. That means the square root of 9 is 3. We know that. Then we just explaining the idea by using the repeated subtraction method. Okay, here we are finding the square root of 9 by using the repeated subtraction method. Then for that, how do we start? Then the first steps, okay, the number is very important. The first steps, we just subtract 9 from the first odd number 1. 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. Okay. Second steps, from 8 we subtract the next odd number. What is next odd number after 1? That is 3 is equal to 5. Correct? Then third steps, the next we subtract the next odd number from 5. What is the next odd number after 3? That one is 5. Then 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Then where we get the value is 0, we stop there. Okay, we stop there. Where we get the answer is 0, we stop the process there. Then after we count in which step we got it, the value is equal to 0. Which steps? The third step we got it, the value is equal to 0. That means therefore the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Okay, the number of steps is the square root of the number. The third step we got is the answer is 0. That means the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Okay, the second example, find the square root of 81. Okay, find the square root of 81. We know whose square is 81. Correct? Whose square is 81? We know that. So here we are finding the square root of 81 by a repeated subtraction method. Okay, then how do we start? We just start like this. The first steps, 81 minus 1. Okay, first word number is equal to 8. Then second, 80 minus 3. 80 minus 3 is equal to 77. Then third steps, 77 minus 5. 77 minus 5 is equal to 72. Okay. The next, here, the fourth steps, 72 minus, fourth step, 72 minus, then what is the number after 5? That one is 7. Equal to 65. Okay, 65. Then fifth steps, 65 minus, after 7, what is the odd number? 9. Then 65 plus 9 is 56. The next sixth steps. Sixth step is 56 minus, then next number, what is the next number after 9? That one is 11. Correct? 9 after the next odd number is 11. Then 56 minus 11. What is 56 minus 11? Yes, 45. Seventh steps. 45 minus 11 after 13. Then 45 minus 13. What is 45 minus 13? Yes, 32. Then the next step, eighth step, 32 minus 15. 32 minus 15. What is 32 minus 15? Yes, that one is 17. Then what is the next number? Next is ninth step, 17 minus, next number is 17. 17 minus 17 is equal to 0. That means now we got it, the result is 0. Correct. Then which step we got it? The value is equal to 0. The ninth step we got it, the value is equal to 0. Therefore, what we conclude? Therefore, square root of, okay, square root of, the symbol is very important, radical symbol, the square root of 81 is equal to 9. Okay, the square root of 81 is equal to 9. This is the method of repeated subtraction method. I think you got it, the idea. Where we get the 0, that we stop there, okay, and we count which step we got it the 0. That the number of steps is the answer. And what is the drawback of this method? This method, if you want to find the square root of a bigger number, we want to subtract one by one like this. Here also 9, then we go to this one steps, correct? Only 9 steps we do it. Then if you want to find the square root of s, we want to follow the 21 or 30 steps. This one is not, is difficult to follow, correct? That is the drawback of this method. Okay, I think you got the idea of this one. What is mean by the repeated subtraction method? Clear?